So, if you're a fan of indie games, you know that Nintendo has been a go-to handheld for awesome titles like Celeste, Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, Stardew Valley, etc. But with the rise of indie's popularity came the rise of another handheld that was said to compete directly with the Nintendo Switch. I am of course referring to the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck was poised to compete directly with the Nintendo Switch, and while I do think that it rivals it really well in almost every aspect, there's something the Switch will always be superior in: first-party games and marketing. First-party Nintendo games are not impossible to play on Steam Deck, but you really shouldn't. And Nintendo as a household name is a behemoth to compete with. So, where does the Steam Deck excel in? Well, I could get into it a little bit more, but it would consume this video, so I'll save that topic for another time, because this week Nintendo dropped an Indie World presentation, and it solidified what I've known since I got the Steam Deck, and it's that the Switch lost its crown as the best handheld for indie games. The reason I say this is because the games announced to be coming to the Switch are also poised to come to the Steam Deck. And not just that, but a couple of the games are already in Steam's library as we speak. Steam also has less restrictive guidelines for the games it carries, which means that while there's some really bad stinkers in there, there's a lot of gems that you wouldn't have access to on Nintendo's eShop. Not to mention the ability to play games on Game Pass. The Steam Deck is incredibly easy to access the Game Pass, therefore giving you access to a lot of indies that are essentially free if you already have a Game Pass subscription. Steam also seems to have sales more often on these games as well, and I think that I somewhat suggested this earlier, but Steam does tend to get a lot of these indie games earlier because it's easier to get into a Steam store. Games like Inscryption and Have a Nice Death were released earlier on Steam than they were on the Switch. And the Steam Deck still has exclusive indies, or not exclusive indies, but indies that are not on Nintendo Switch yet. Something like Vampire Survivors, for example. And all of this is just the tip of the iceberg. I do want to dive deeper into every reason the Steam Deck is potentially better than the Switch. And this is coming from a huge Nintendo fanboy, so don't come at me. The recent indie presentation from Nintendo just made me want to discuss this topic, and if there's anyone on the fence about which console they want to play indies and cozy games on, the Steam Deck is the best handheld for just that. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.